Hello, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from the Teaserking. Got a lot of football for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, with all the New Year's Day bowls, college bowls, pro. We got week 16 coming up, and we're pretty hot right now. Uh, got some good games this week in the pros, and I'd like to talk about a few pro games. Please go to www.teaserking.com and you can look at the picks, the free picks. I'll have my locks, and I'll put up some trends. You can chat with me on my chat site. If I'm not there, just leave a message and I'll respond to it. Basically, looking at week 16. Now here's where it's more art than science. The trends are one thing. Then you look at the games that are needed for the playoffs, and then you get another flavor into it. I'll give you an example. The San Diego is 8-point favorite over Cincinnati. Now we look at this in two ways. One, from a playoff standpoint, San Diego has to win the game. They're a game behind Kansas City. It's a must-win game for them. However, when you look at the trends are all favored for Cincinnati. San Diego's a terrible road favorite. Cincinnati's a very strong home dog. You'll have some weather where the weather will be in the 20s or 30s, if that, and that's going to affect San Diego. So you end up where you're debating San Diego needs it for the playoff game. Does that mean they're going to try harder than if it was a normal game? Does that mean Cincinnati's going to lay down because they don't have the playoffs? So you must look at it that way. As far as I know, Carson Palmer's still a quarterback. I know Terrell Owens is out. That shouldn't really matter that much. Still got Chad Okocinco, and it's still pro receivers. That's the thing with injuries. Unless it's Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, really doesn't matter. Maybe a little bit with Brett Favre because Joe Webb was the quarterback and he really didn't know what he was doing. But outside of that, if you have a star go down, look at Donovan McNabb, Rex Grossman comes in, and he lights up Dallas for 4 touchdowns. It's really overrated. The quarterback being out, unless it's a severe key Tom Brady type of player, Peyton Manning. So with that said, yeah, they lose Terrell Owens, but look at Indy. They keep pumping in receiver after receiver, and it's all Peyton Manning. They're pro receivers. They're going to get open, so I don't worry about that. I'm not playing this game. Ordinarily, I would take Cincinnati in 13, 14, 15 points, and I'd go, it's a lock. I mean, they're at home. San Diego's terrible road favorite. Excuse me. It's Christmas Eve, and I just came from playing poker. San Diego's a terrible road favorite, and Cincinnati's a great home dog. So it puts you in a bind where, do I play the trend, or do I take too much into account for the playoff game? This is one of these that San Diego gets upset, and you go, how did they lose? They needed the game for the playoffs. Well, that's how they lose. They're in a situation they don't like against a team who they like being home dog. So if I were to play this game, which I'm not, I would take Cincinnati in 14, 15 points, not San Diego laying 1, 2, 3 points. You got to stick to it, but you also got to realize it's a playoff game, and this is where a lot of people get burnt. They'll play the playoff team, with a team needing it for the playoffs, and kind of miss the boat. So, with that said, let's get to the real picks. I just wanted to educate you on the end of the year, and the team needs the game for the playoffs, and everybody jumps on them, and then they lose, and everybody goes, well, wait, why did they lose? Because you got to treat it like any normal week. There's a little bit, maybe you put into it, incentive. And let's get to the first game. New England is laying 8 to Buffalo in Buffalo. Oh, I am so sorry. Please excuse me. This is absolute lock, and I'll get into that why. First of all, New England wants it for home field throughout the playoffs. Now, I know I just said you can't extricate it because of the extra incentive, well, they need it for the playoffs. I'm not doing that. Although, because New England's playing so well and they can lock up home field, here's why. When I look at the micro trend of New England Buffalo, the first thing that pops in is Well, when the game's in Buffalo since 2005, New England's 5-0, and they're 5-0 as the favorite. They're 9-2 in the as the favorite in the series, and they've already beat them in New England, where it was a fairly close game. They covered, but everybody covered. So you have New England that plays very well in Buffalo, especially as the favorite. Since 2000, New England's 9-1 in Buffalo. 8-2, the favorite is, and when New England's favored in the series, 16-2. So you have a huge trend where New England goes into Buffalo and beats them. I'm assuming Buffalo doesn't handle really good quarterbacks very well. That's why Brady has success against them. And then when they get behind, they really don't have the offense to come back. So New England's very comfortable at Buffalo in the series. You add the incentive of they want to lock up home field and clinch their division. I think they have clinched against the Jets, but even if they haven't, they need to win because they want the home field throughout the playoffs. We'll quickly look at the more of the micro trend. In the micro 10 for 10, New England's 11-3 overall. Only 3-2 is the road favorite. Buffalo's a home dog is 2-1, but if you go against Buffalo this year at home, you're 6-0 and 11-3 overall. So Buffalo at home, it's terrible. It's a good bet against team. There's a lot of teams that are bad at home. Miami, Jacksonville, I don't quite understand it, but they're just terrible home favorites. Let's look at it since 2009 and 2010, the last 30 games. Buffalo's 4-3 as a home dog, 6-1 is a bet against home dog. So when they're a dog at home, they lose. They do it well. New England is only 7-3 as a road favorite, and 6-4 if you go against them, but 24-7 overall. So they're 77% if you just take New England in a teaser every week. Their weak spot there is they're 7-3. They're 13-3 as a home favorite, so they're really good as a home favorite. I did not play them against Green Bay last week. I thought the spread at 14 was way too high. Without Rodgers, and because Matt Flynn was an unknown quality and he didn't do anything against the Lions, I couldn't take Green Bay in the 20. But with Green Bay's defense and the receivers and everything, and they need the game, I didn't play the game. I would have normally have played Green Bay in the points in that game. Green Bay's a very good road dog. So with that said, the play is clearly and obviously Buffalo, or is clearly and obviously New England. Lay 1.5, 2 points. New England will win comfortably. They play well at Buffalo. You saw Tom Brady in the snow. If he can light up the Bears defense, he ain't going to have any problem against Buffalo. That is a lock. Take it to the bank. Put it in 10 teasers all over the board. Take New England. The second lock of the day is going to be, we're going to go to the Atlanta-New Orleans game. This is purely, in my mind, this is a playoff game. Both teams need it. Treat it as a playoff game. Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at Atlanta playing the game at home against New Orleans since 2005. There's really no trend. Atlanta's 3-2. The favorite's 3-2. Atlanta's 3-2 as the favorite in the series. New Orleans is 3-2 as the dog. There's nothing there since 2005. It's kind of gone back and forth. When we look at it since 2000, the favorite's 8-2 is the best trend. New Orleans is 7-3 in Atlanta. Atlanta's 6-2 as a favorite, and New Orleans is 6-2 as the dog. Technically, there's not much there. A little bit. The favorite's 8-2. I look at this as a playoff game. I look at New Orleans as a Super Bowl champ, and good luck beating Drew Brees by more than 9 points. Spread on this game is 2.5, 3 points. I love New Orleans getting 8 and 9 just on the fact the playoff game. They need the game. Both teams need it, and New Orleans won the Super Bowl for a reason. They got Drew Brees. They got the offense. They got a very good defense. They're very good against good quarterbacks. They're very good against. Who did they beat last year? They beat Tom Brady. They beat Brett Favre. They beat Peyton Manning, I believe. All the good quarterbacks they beat, and they handled them easily. They beat. Their weak point is against a good pass rush that Dallas did to them last year, which was like DeMarcus Ware. That's New Orleans' weak spot. In this case, you don't really have it with Atlanta. Let's look at the 2010. New Orleans is 11-3 overall. They're only 1-0 as a road dog because they're never a road dog. And when I find a team is favored a lot and you make them a dog, they get pretty mad about it. They know they're the dog. They're pretty mad about it. But when you look at them on the road, they're 5-1 as a road favorite. So they're 6-1 on the road with the point spread. When you look against them, they're 1-0 as a road dog. So they played on the road as a dog, and I think it was against Baltimore last week, and they covered it. It wasn't a sweat to cover the game. And if they can go into Baltimore and put up 24 points, they'll have no problem doing that against Atlanta. Let's look at Atlanta now. They are very hot this year. And I find that the better teams also cover the spread quite a bit. Atlanta is 6-0 as a home favorite, 12-2 overall against the number. Very good team to bet on. So you would first assume I'll take Atlanta, but when you look at it against Atlanta as a home favorite, they're 5-1. So they're really winning the games around the point spread at home. They're not blowing out teams. It's not 38-0 a lot. Most of their games are close at home. They're winning them, but they're not blowouts. They're not a real blowout type of team. So we look at that and we say, okay. Then we go back to 09, 010, the last 30 games. Now New Orleans is 3-0 as a road dog. You can see they're not a road dog often, and that includes the Super Bowl. I put that trend in here too. They were a road dog because the Super Bowl is a road game, and they were the dog. 13-3 overall on the road. 26-7 or 79%. So you got a team that covers in a teaser. Against New Orleans, they're 2-1 as a road dog and 64% against. You'd rather take them. Atlanta is 11-1 as a home favorite and 23-7 or 77%. So they're a very strong home favorite here. But they're also 9-3 against, so 75% against. So the point is, Atlanta wins and they don't blow out much at home. They're a very good home team, but they're not a blowout team, and they'll blow out a Carolina, an Arizona. The weaker teams, that's where they'll blow out. That's where you jump on them. But when you play a team like New Orleans, the Super Bowl champ, and they're still the Super Bowl champ, as far as I know, Drew Brees is playing. Everybody's healthy. They got Reggie Bush back. It's a playoff game, and you don't go against New Orleans in this scenario. It will be a close game. New Orleans can easily pull the upset. The trends are there. Atlanta might cover in a teaser their half of it, getting 3 points, 2.5, 3.5 points. It'll be a very close game. I love New Orleans. You always take the money. You take the cream that rises to the top. You take Indy as the dog, New England as the dog, Pittsburgh as the dog, New Orleans as the dog. That's what you have here. It's a no-brainer. Both teams need the game. Therefore, it's a playoff game. Take the underdog in this situation. These are my 2 locks this week. Beautiful plays. Just what you're looking for. You're looking for good dogs. New Orleans, Chicago, Green Bay. Like I said, normally Minnesota, when they're healthy, is a great dog also. Oh, those are my 2 picks. Take New Orleans plus 8.5, 9 points. And take New England against a weak Buffalo team. Though they play very well. They want to lock up home field advantage throughout. That's what New England does. They're playing fantastic ball. Tom Brady's playing fantastic. Anyway, please go to www.teaserking.com. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Wish everybody the best for 2011. Enjoy the football. There's plenty of it coming up. I will do a video on the bowl games very soon. Anyway, good luck, and I hope everybody does well with these picks. These picks are very, very strong picks. This is what I look for. Very, very strong dogs and very, very strong trends of a very good team. Going to pound a mediocre Buffalo team. Anyway, take care. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the holidays.